Coming up, what was Walt Disney working on when he died, and why was it canceled afterwards? It would have been the biggest achievement of his career. Stay tuned. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Trey from Midwest Day Trips here in Orlando, Florida at Epcot, the current version of Epcot. But did you know that originally Walt Disney had a completely different vision for Epcot? Come day tripping with us. The year is 1965. The place is Orlando, Florida, a military town that bears little resemblance to the tourist destination that it is today. The word on the streets is that something big is happening in town because someone is buying a lot of land in the area. Later that year, the rumors were put to rest at a press conference when Florida and Walt Disney announced the Florida Project, the quote, biggest thing we've ever tackled. This concept here will have to be something that is unique so that there is a distinction between Disneyland in California and whatever Disney does in Florida, unquote. It was phrased that way because Disney did not want to do another Disneyland. He wanted to build a city, a futuristic, utopian city, and he had almost every detail planned out from every conceivable angle. Eventually, the city would be called Epcot, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. The city was designed in a circular radial format, with the urban center and 30-story hotel in the center, and monorails would shuttle people to and from there, with various other types of zoning for residential and business. Cars would be considered an elective for residents of the city, as public transportation would be abundant. For local connections, patrons would board the Wedway, also known as the People Mover, which is something of a moving sidewalk with ample room to sit and stash your belongings. Walt Disney relentlessly pursued a solution for every single flaw he could find with modern cities. He wanted a clear separation between business and residential areas. He wanted separation between pedestrian and motorized vehicles. He wanted climate-controlled domes. And when he was pressured to add a theme park to the mix, he complied, but put it on the northwest area on the opposite side that guests would enter the complex. Magic Kingdom would have been pretty much exactly where it was right now. Epcot would have been more or less in the same location, but it would have been a lot bigger. The regional airport would have been in the southern part of the property, about where ESPN Wide World of Sports is now. Guests would ride the monorail, which would take them to the entrance complex for those who were arriving by car, through Epcot, and all the way to the Magic Kingdom theme park. There would be no slum areas in Epcot because they wouldn't allow it. There would be no voting control, as people would rent houses instead of buying them. There would be no retirees, as everyone would be employed. Had even successfully convinced the state of Florida to give them full control over the land, and this is how the Reedy Creek Improvement District was started. Disney wanted as little red tape as possible to slow him down. Everything was set into motion and they had a solid plan. That is until something terrible happened and the Florida Project came to a screeching halt. Walt Disney was hospitalized very shortly after the filming of his Epcot pitch video, complaining of neck and back pain. He was revealed to have lung cancer, and his left lung was surgically removed. After being released, he took a turn for the worse and was hospitalized again in less than a month. This time he would not be released and passed away in the morning of December 15th, 1966. With the loss of Walt Disney, the company had to rethink their entire strategy for the Florida Project. Walt's brother Roy, as well as numerous people employed at Walt Disney Productions, wanted to see the project through. They didn't want to tarnish the reputation of Uncle Walt. However, without Walt's visionary leadership, things would prove to be next to impossible. They knew what Walt had in mind. What they didn't know was how he had planned on achieving some of the finer points of his master plan. It was decided that without Walt Disney, there would be no Epcot, at least not in the exact way that he had envisioned. It was decided that they would move forward in building a Disney World resort that would honor the memory of Walt Disney and incorporate as many of his ideas as possible. It was a foregone conclusion that the monorail would play a significant role in this new version of Disney World, and the People Mover was added as a ride to Magic Kingdom in order to pay homage to the original vision. And speaking of Magic Kingdom, it was no longer an afterthought at Disney World. It became the main attraction pretty much by necessity. People needed a reason to go to Disney World, and without Walt's City of Tomorrow, it pretty much had to be a theme park. A decision that was made pragmatically instead of being made idealistically. Walt didn't want a sequel to Disneyland, but there was little to no chance of anything positive happening in Florida without Magic Kingdom happening first. Walt Disney wanted Disney World guests to feel safely nestled in the Disney bubble as soon as they arrived, and this idea is still very much alive, as we'll discuss in an upcoming video. Walt's vision for a Disney-owned hotel came to fruition with the presence of the Cosmopolitan Hotel and the Polynesian Resort on opening day. Disney's multicultural melting pot idea of a World's Fair also became a reality with the World Showcase, which opened at a new Disney theme park, which was named, wait for it, Epcot Center, later shortened to Epcot. Nowadays, Walt Disney World, as it was renamed in his memory, has evolved into something unique that Walt would likely be proud of, even if it wasn't the original intent. It's still the happiest place on earth, and that's saying something. You know, Walt Disney was told repeatedly throughout his life that what he was doing was foolish and it would never work. The fact that he overcome all those odds makes you wonder what a city of his design would have accomplished. How different would life be if the Florida project unfolded the way Walt Disney had envisioned? Anyway, that's going to about do it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check back all the time for new content. Take care, everyone.